Ja, herzlichen Dank, dass Sie noch so zahlreich hier geblieben sind. We are going to talk in English because I think this is our common language, and I think the most of you will understand because we are all not native speakers, so I think we can manage this. May I first present you, these both ladies you already have seen on stage. This is Ntombi, the artistic director of Afrika Mamas. Nawal, yes, please, a warm clapping. Nawal, you have seen her already. Warm clapping as well, thank you very much. And we have not seen on stage Percy Tong. He is one person who knows very well the Indian Ocean, so he is living in Mauritius, but traveling constantly across the Indian Ocean and making stopovers on all the islands and along the coastline of the East African side. So he will report us some of his secrets he has catched during his trips along these various travels in the region. And we had a really woman power night. And I know that, yes, and I know that Afrika Mamas were really founded with your power to bring the women around you in better conditions of life. So maybe you can take the mic, tell us a little bit from the beginning of Afrika Mamas, which goes back 20 years, I think. Huh?
More than 20 years. More than 20 years. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Yes, Afrika Mamas was founded in 1998. These women were working as backing vocalists for an array of South African singers like Brenda Fassie, like Dube, Tunogwe, you can name them all. Some of the members passed away. We have young ones now replacing them. As a group, we were founded in 1998. We recorded our first CD through Vuma Music from South Africa, our second CD through Sony BMG South Africa, our third CD through ARC Music in London, our fourth CD through ARC Music in London. Now we are busy with our fifth album that is produced by the legendary Ladysmith Black Mambazo. They chose us as a first isicathamiya group a female isicathamiya group to walk on their footsteps. We are walking on Ladysmith Black Mambazo's footsteps, and we are very proud as mothers, single mothers from South Africa. Thank you so much.
And we understood from the songs you have presented to us that you really focus on the situation of women in South Africa. How has it changed in the last 20 years? Has the situation of women improved? Is it nowadays you are more accepted? Is it more easy, or are there different kind of challenges nowadays than at the time when you started?
I believe some things have changed, but recently there's this thing that we were singing about, the killing of women in South Africa. It's very painful. It's very painful. A young girl went to the post office to receive her parcel. The postmaster said she must come back later because the system was low. When she came back around 4 p.m., there was no one, only the postman. He raped her and he killed her. She was missing for weeks. When she was found, she was dead. A week after, father of 4 killed 4 kids because the mother said she was going to divorce him. He hanged them one by one, fetched them from school during the day, and he hanged them. This is still paining to us as women in South Africa. When is this killing of women going to stop? I'm sorry. It hurts.
It's very touching, and I think we have really to have an eye on what is going on in your country and to strengthen your activities to protect women through their own work and to get really the power to be not in such dangerous situation.
But if I can tell you, when you go to the police to report that I was raped, they want the evidence. After the rape, you feel like washing yourself. You rush because you are smelling. You rush to wash yourself. When you go to the police station and they ask for the evidence, there is no evidence. It is very painful. Your case is withdrawn. It is very painful. We came from Angola last month. We were singing the same tune. We were doing a musical about the killing of women and children in South Africa. It is still going on in South Africa, in the South African State Theatre. Women are killed daily, but police are doing nothing. Don't ask about the government.
What if we hear this, I think you might report with the eyes of a woman what is going on the Komoren Islands. It's already on.
Yeah.
What is the situation in the
Yeah,
Komoren
this is what I
Islands?
wanted
First
to-
of all, I think for those who don't know exactly, maybe you situate the Komoren, and maybe you can report us a little bit about.
So Comoros is 4 little islands in between the north of Madagascar and the east coast of Africa. We are African Bantu. There is even some Zulu, but most of us are African Bantu, and we are mixed with Arabs, from Yemen, from Oman. We are mixed with Turkish. We are mixed with Indonesian, Malaysian. We are the children of the wind. You know, the winds bring, it's true, you know, because the winds bring the man who was looking for slave, who was looking for beautiful woman to sail after, was looking for spice. And they all come to this, our country, and then they had to wait 6 months, then the wind will bring them back home. You know, man. They found the idea, like all, I want to say, because I know a little bit about the German story too, you know, I mean, the European, I grew up in France, and, you know, the king, they just come and they marry the princess and they get the power. So the Arabs and the Persians, they do the same thing. They come to Comoros, they married the princess, you say? When you don't understand my English, just do something like, hey, can you repeat, you know? So today we are, I want to say before, I believe that we are all brother and sister, because you and me and them and everywhere, because we are all coming. We are the earth. We are all connected from the same earth. So we are this earth. And then we breathe the same thing. We have the same father and the same mama. But there's some story coming from 5, 6 generation. We can know that, all right, there's some, you know, value, you know, like this is mine, this is not yours, you know. So just to say that even in Comoros, we was 4 islands. So there's 4 islands was French. Before we was Arabs, but the Arabs and the English, they lose the war. So they call us before Jazair al-Qamar, which is mean the island of the moon in Arab, Jazair al-Qamar. But when the French win, al-Qamar become Il Comor. So Comoros come from Kamar, who means the moon. I think we don't have all the night, so let's talk about,
I heard that you have created a woman project on the Komoren Islands. So maybe you can give us a little bit idea about your activities you are doing.
I want to say first thing to my sister here and to all my sister here too and everywhere. Don't do the same thing like we do in Comoros. We think what's happening in Comoros, it's only in Comoros. That's not true. That's human beings. That's happened everywhere in the world, and we have to fight against that. Okay? Everywhere in the world, there's men who kill, who beat their wife. Don't you have that in Germany? Sorry, there's everywhere. In Comoros, we didn't know before, or they didn't want to talk about, because we are so proud. We think it's all white people who have that. We are so proud. But then one day, I was in the TV Comoros, and they say, we never had any woman who was abused in the country. So I had to say, I'm sorry, I was abused. I was 1 year old. But I had to do a lot to forgive and to be able to continue my life. And that's happened everywhere again and again and again. And that should stop, And we have to fight for that. But please don't think it's only South Africa, because this is how African people, we cannot grow because we think this is only us. So yes, so when I went to Comoros this last time, these few years before, and then I could see more and more little mama, like 13 years old, 14 years old, like sometimes it's just in the village, they married you because you're 9, but you already have your period, so you're ready to be a wife. But most of them, it's also like everywhere again, it's the people around this family. It's the uncle, it's the teacher, and even sometimes the Quranic teacher. Like we can find now for the Christians, same things, like you go to know about value and then the abuse of you.
We saw this in Europe as well from the priests. And
I tried to find a way to help that. And also the old woman who's asking me money all the time, please give me money. So I say, please, my ego, like an artist, is so easy, crazy. So please, what can I do? I'm going to build a house. I call this house the House of Possible. And to give more education, but most to give job. But the idea is not only giving job, it's to take back the power, our power. I mean, we have dirt, we have wood, we have so many things. Why are we doing house like here or like in Arabic place, And then it's so hot inside. It's not really adapt. And then also, in the same time, I'm helping the woman in the way to become free.
And I have to say, for those who are interested to know more about this project, we have some flyers over there on the table next to the CDs. So take the flyers, take a CD, and
the flyers it's in French, but in the website it's in English too.
Exactly, there is a website, and support such projects because, as you see, it's really important that we are aware about what's going on, and maybe. If you allow me.
Yeah.
Thank you. I would like to ask to Percy, who is traveling a lot all across Africa and the Indian Ocean. And I know you are as well not only an activist in music, and you are searching for such wonderful musicians as we had tonight here, but you are an observer about the social conditions of life. So as men living on Mauritius, do you have any comments to what you have, what we got reported right now?
Well, if a man can express himself in front of those women, I must thank you first, because it's very rare that we have a concert, because as an artistic director, I bring these ladies, but to have a concert and talk about their lives after, this is for me so special and very rare, because I know where they come from. I'm privileged to be born in Mauritius. My grandfather came from China. He didn't choose France or South Africa or Komoren. He chose Mauritius. So I live in a paradise. It's the biggest economy, #1 in Africa. But if I see that now you're here listening to witnessing, because, for example, Afrika Mamas, when they sing, this song you're listening, enjoying, and discovering. But when we arrived the first day in Wuppertal in a hotel, we didn't do one single concert at breakfast. They just started singing, but also crying. The same song that they sang here, they were crying and understood that these songs mean so many moments of suffering in their lives, and music brought them joy and strength to have faith to move forward. And this witnessing is important. And Nawal, what I know, long time, because Comoros is a special place in the Canal of Mozambique, in the north of Canal of Mozambique. And we're neighbors. Mauritius, Seychelles, Réunion, and Rodrigue are Creole islands. Next to it, we have huge Madagascar, which is a universe and a culture of its own, the only African state with Indonesian blood. And then you have Comoros, which is more like Zanzibar and Tuareg, and the only Muslim island of the region. And then after, when I traveled from South Africa to Mozambique, and this is I would like to thank Clan Cosmos, because as an artistic director, I set up bands. I create them, but there's no concerts. And thanks to Germany, now it's the 7th, we started with Madagascar, and then we started Comoros, Mozambique, Kenya, Mauritius, Rodrigue. But South Africa is the first band I didn't create for Birgit and Clan Cosmos, because the Opera Frankfurt wanted an a cappella band. An a cappella band, so thank you, Frankfurt Alta Oper.
Yeah.
Because if I had to create an a cappella band, it's impossible, because this is born in their soul of generation and generation. So I had to choose between Zimbabwe, Uganda, and I said, no, South Africa. Why? Yeah. Because isikata is a Zulu traditional a cappella culture sung only by men. What you saw today, for the first time in Germany, these are the only women of the whole continent singing isikata. And we hope that the children and the daughters and the niece, even the grandmothers, will start singing isikata. So it's a great pleasure.
So we know that you broke the tradition of men in getting into this music style. And how is it taken by, let's say, the people in South Africa?
Before they didn't believe it, until Ladysmith Black Mambazo gave us an award. They nominated us as the first female isikata group, best female isikata group. Then we won an award that was not like contested by anybody. We were the only group of female among men. That award is hanging there, and we are so proud of it.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And there is another breaker of tradition, because we know that your music is strongly related to Sufi music. And I know that your father was one of these very important Sufi masters from the Komoren. And this music in general is privileged to men as well. So how is it for you as a woman to get into this field of male tradition and power?
You know, like
music-wise.
Yeah, like I say on Hima, one of my songs in Aman album, freedom it's not a gift. You have to take it. If you want it, you just take it. And you have to fight for. When I begin to sing, even in the beginning, I wasn't 100% into Sufism. When I began in 1985 to play guitar on stage, my uncle beat me. It's like they couldn't accept that there's a woman who go on stage with a guitar. I mean, can you, if you go and sing, at least, you know? But I come from rich people, you know, descendant of the prophet and stuff like that. So like, maybe if you go and sing like Kulthum, like well dressed, don't move too much, just, you know. But I took my guitar and I'm playing the Gambusi, my instrument. Now we are only 2-3 people who playing this instrument in Comoros, and then we don't even have anybody who make it anymore. And this really, it's a man instrument because they never see any woman playing this instrument. But the Sufi plays, if I accept, but I refused it, but I could be a master, but only for women. Like, women have the right to be into the music, in the Sufism, but only in between women. I'm so happy my mom brought me to France so early. I was 12 years old, and there I was not far from Ardèche, you know, with this hippie style, peace and love people who really understand me somewhere, and somewhere who encouraged me. Like because at home, I thought I was crazy because I was so different, you know? And sometimes they say, you're a man. I say, I'm not a man. You know, when you dare to do something, you know, they just think you're a man, you know? So yeah, well, the more we do that, the more we do it, and the more other women dare to do. Now I'm so proud when I see Comoros, there's maybe 3-4 women who play guitar now. Because I dared to do it, and they beat me, and I know it wasn't fun. But today, they are my fan, even my family. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Eh?
True. But Nawal, example, because you must understand it's also 4 islands that are maybe 18 kilometers long, 20 kilometers wide, so it's very small. So already when you live on an island, the mentality is very closed. When it is a macho country like even the Creole Islands, the men decide, South Africa the same. But Comoros is on top of that Muslim. And at the same time, they're quite liberal Muslim because I see the men, they drink whiskey, you know. And you can see women driving cars, very modern, because they have the French colonization. But I would say a word because now when I saw her the first time, I said, she's crazy, as I said, to get the courage as a woman in a Muslim island and try to sing. That's why she lives in France now. She could express herself in Europe. That's like in South Africa, Afrika Mamas are not as... In Germany, she gets value because she sees that you appreciate them without they change their culture. They come natural. And Nawal, you must understand the first instrument she was playing, Gambus. You're talking about women, but there's only 3 men, even 2 in the whole of Comoros still playing it. All the youngsters with electric guitar. So to have a woman on top of that guarding this is also saving and preserving a tradition. But if we can't express ourselves in Europe, it will die. In fact, Europe is helping me as an artistic director, saving all these values. And the second thing I would like to add, like we're talking about Afrika Mamas, problem of women. Already in Europe, to raise a kid is difficult. But they are raising kids without a man. And like I give Ntombi, she's grandmother. But at home, she's also taking care of the kids of her niece that died of AIDS, of a sister-in-law that has AIDS. So in fact, she has her own kids and a whole lot of kids in a small room. And having the opportunity to come and share after singing, this witnessing, for me, is the biggest gift that Alta Oper and Klang Cosmos and Birgit is giving me and these ladies a chance to express outside music, but the soul of the reality of their lives.
Thank you very much. I think, is there anything you would like to add?
Nothing much, but to thank you for this platform and thank Percy and thank everyone who's here to listen to our music, to listen to our stories. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to, like he said, I don't want to repeat so much, but it's true, you know, but it's so true, you know, like, it's so rare that you can go and sing and talk with people. But really talking, you know, like, just we're human, like you, and we have things to share. And that's really rare, and then, yeah, I hope that's will inspire some other people. And, yeah, I wanted also to just invite you. Like you begin to talk about, I bought the land in Comoros. I bought it with my money to make this house of possible and help, especially the young mama, but also the young artists, but mostly the young mama, they are more in need. And any donation, it's welcome. Even €1, any donation. When we are, how do you call this little bird, you know, I don't know how you saw that, you know, this little bird who, you know the story about this little bird in South America? The colibri, yeah. Colibri. You know the story, huh? Yeah.
Hummingbird. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we are all somewhere. And then even talking here, I mean, it's amazing. And for me, like human, yeah, like I said before, I really believe that we can change the world, but we all have to do it with ourselves and share with you and with her. And then this is the possibility to share the energy of love. I want to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you stay here, it means you have it too. And when you go out, you're going to talk again and again. And me, when I go back home, I say, oh my God, I saw in Germany, they just stay after the concert. They stay to talk with us. That's amazing. So, hallelujah. One day we'll win. Love will win.
So thank you very much, everybody here. Thank you,
Can I say a word of
Percy.
thanks?
Thank you, Nawal. Thank you, Ntombi. Thank you, everybody from Afrika Mamas.
And thank you, Birgit.
And
Yeah.
and I think for those who have more questions, don't be shy. They will be around. And to take a CD home, this money goes not into big companies. This goes to those people who have really sung on the CDs and who make really good things in their home countries. Thank you very much. And
Birgit, can I give a word of thanks? Last one.
Okay.
Because for me, it's like a dream come true. I've been 35 years working Southwest Indian Ocean. I've seen these bands starting in bars, in churches, on the beach. And I always dreamt 30 years ago, you think one day they will reach the opera? and really, I would like to thank Birgit and the Alta Oper, because for me personally, you don't think what I am like in a dream. Because having Komoren and South Africa here in the opera, with people listening to us with no music. So, Dankeschön Deutschland, Dankeschön Alta Oper. I'm the yellow African on the black continent. And I'm China Papas, they say. Afrika Mamas, China Papa.
Thank you, Percy.
But the China man, made in Africa, is better quality than a China man made in China.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Birgit, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.